What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be ripping apart a used broken MIG welder and taking the guts out and putting them in this strictly flux core titanium 125. I'm going to be converting this to a legitimate MIG welder. Let's see how it works out. Check it out. So for me to do this swap, I bought a used broken MIG welder and I'm just going to extract the pieces that I need. I'm doing this because opportunity and cost. I'm going to save a little bit of money going this route, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with buying these parts online and putting them in. It will work the same as mine. This is a very unusual welding machine, but all that matters is it has a gas solenoid. This is an electronically actuated valve to turn on and off the flow of gas to the nozzle. It's the most important part of this swap. The only issue to resolve inside the flux welder, how do you actuate the valve at the same time the welder feeds wire? Because you want the gas to flow continuously while you're welding. To power the solenoid, we'll use the 24-volt supply from the cooling fan, and to control it, we will also need the control switch leg from the trigger. There are two trigger wires. The blue one is the one you want to splice to. To do this, you will also need a 12-volt relay module, which you can buy online for a few dollars. You want to splice the positive from the fan to the common terminal on the relay. Then run a wire from the normally open terminal to one of your solenoid wires. Next, you run the 24-volt negative to the other solenoid wire and also to the negative terminal on your relay. Finally, you splice the control wire from your trigger to the positive terminal on the relay, and this will complete your wiring. Now, this is where I ran into a bit of a dilemma. So this welding machine is now a MIG welder, but I got to figure out a way to get the shielding gas to the end of the gun. There's a few different ways to do that. Obviously, the donor welder came with a legit MIG whip, but this thing is ridiculously huge and heavy, and it's completely not compatible with this welder. Now, I am more than happy to make an adapter plate to make that fit with this welder, but I'm trying to think of something that would be easy for you guys to do if you wanted to do this swap. So I decided to rob the gas shield off my 90 amp welder, which screws right on the end of this one. Just drill and tap into the side of that and put an elbow in there, and then run a solid plastic hose from the solenoid to the end of the whip, just right into that 45-degree elbow. I know I'm going to catch a little bit of flack from you guys for doing it this way, but first of all, this is a strange garage video, not a comfortable garage or a normal garage. So you should probably kind of expect things like this from me, especially if you've seen my videos before. This is what I normally do. But this saved me a ton of time, and it's a really simple way to do it if you want to make one of these. So I just finished installing the gas system in this welder and I've been messing around with it a little bit. Overall, the weld quality, I still need to do some dialing, but the welds look pretty nice. However, they're completely superficial. There's absolutely no penetration. I've never seen anything like it. This is one of the welds I did earlier. I could not believe it. The weld came off of both pieces, just came right off. So I did a little bit of reading. It looks like I need to swap the polarity when I switch from flux core to MIG. So I got to take the cover back off, swap the polarity, and then try it again. So if you look at that terminal lug there, which is actually for the ground, it says out positive. So that means the ground is positive or the electrode is negative. So this is DCEN, DC electrode negative. So what we need to do is swap the polarity. So this is the one that's going out to the whip. So we need to undo this lug and then flip-flop them, and then our polarity will be reversed and hopefully it'll weld a lot better. So after a lot of experimentation, I figured out this welder in this configuration likes to have the power way up and the wire speed way down. So I'm running it in between B and C on wire speed, and the power is all the way up. So I've only had this welder for a couple of days in this configuration. I've tried a lot of stuff, and I think we can probably call it a success at this point. Remember, I started with a pretty good welder in the first place, but this is a successful MIG conversion. Now, at the end of the day, do I recommend that you do this? Probably not. Now, if you already have this welder and you love it, this is the welder you want it to be MIG, great. But you can get a MIG welder for the same price as this Flux core. So no, it's not worth it. I was able to do it because I bought a welder with a regulator, so all the parts I needed for $40. So that's why I did this. Plus, I'm gonna make a little bit of money on the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But it's all worth it for me. For you guys, I don't think so. Anyways, thanks always for doing your part to help make this world a strange place.